Hi all, right back with more Fields of Fire, the Normandy campaign. This is mission 1, Trevieres Offensive. This is take 2 of my playthrough, part 10. Yeah. So this is the morning after that previous part, and I want to feel like that was a bit messy as well. Not messy, just like I'm a bit lost and don't know what I'm doing, and what didn't help was I didn't draw any commands. Struggled along a bit, but I feel like the last two parts, I haven't watched them back yet, are just a bit yucky, to be honest. I just feel like as the recording was going on, I was getting a bit lost in what I was doing. So maybe it was because it was late at night and I was tired, both the last two recordings, possibly. So this is the morning after, like I say, so maybe I'll be a bit fresher. I don't feel that fresh, to be honest, but I feel half asleep still. Anyway, I've got a bit of time to get something started, so I thought I'd kick on, and then I'm off, although I'm working later tonight, I'm working a sort of short night, it's not a night shift, but I start later tonight. It's a little short shift though, so quite good. And then I'm off the next 2 days after that, so good chance of getting this mission finished, but my worry is finished to the point that we need to have another go at it, because, and when I mean another go, I mean officially by the rules. I don't mean me just going trying it again, because if you fail the mission, you can reattempt it. It says that in I think we can reattempt it once, can't we? I mean, I really don't want to do that, because the fact that I played through it, in the mission book here, it says attempts. You may attempt this mission a total of 2 times. So we could do that. But let's not get too carried away here. We are on turn 7, about to start. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 turns. Now, I mean, yes, we've got some issues. Now, as long as we achieve our goals, it doesn't really matter what happens to our company. If they all get shot to pieces, we can rebuild them to some extent at the end of the mission. So we need to, that's what I wanted to double check. As we do need to clear rows to occupy, right, hang on. So there's a reminder of the mission goal. Occupy and clear, which I still think is the same, the wording is secure there, but maybe. Occupy and clear of enemy forces the primary and secondary objectives, and clear rows 1 and 2 of any enemy forces. That's what we need to do to succeed. So we've cleared row 1, and we've cleared most of row 2, apart from this potential contact A here. But I mean, let's not panic on that. I mean, even at the end of the mission, I want to say that if there's a unit, if there's an enemy unit that triggers from this package, and he's up here, shall we say, and he's firing on this card, as long as we've got the potential contact marker of it and we've got it occupied, I don't even think it matters if there's fire coming in. That is we've achieved our goal. So that on top of objective 1 and objective 2, now we need to get moved into there, and we need to be clearing them. Well, we have been trying, but I mean, I don't know. I was thinking back to last night's part, and I was very, very limited to my commands and whatever. But is there not something I could have done? I'll tell you what I'm definitely doing. I'm definitely putting this. This guy's moving this turn. Now, I don't know when he actually goes away, and I don't know what happens if he was to get shot up, because I don't know. I mean, he's in the game for 2 turns. This is going to be his second turn, but I think I'll put him. And I mean, what's the backside of him? Is he a fire team? Oh, he is actually. Yeah, he's got a fire team side to the back of him, so he's a 1-step unit. But I mean, I'm not sure what happens if he becomes a casualty, shall we say. I don't know. I don't think I've came across anything that states that that's bad, or we lose certain things, or I don't think I've read anything that says anything about it. So and what I mean is he's going to get 6 commands, and we used 2 of them the last time, so I'm going to do something with him. I'm going to move him up. Whether I thought at first move him up here and try and rally that paralyzed unit, for instance, you know, something like that. Although, does it say... No, I think for rally, I'll just say HQ, won't it? Like, who's got to do it? Who's the originator of rally commands? Yeah, it says... What would that be? Convert a paralyzed team to a water team. Oh. No. Hang on. How can that be right? That says that has to be a platoon HQ. Attempt to convert a paralysed team to a water team. A platoon HQ. And then the other one is attempt to convert a fire team to an assault team, platoon HQ. But going from a water team to a fire team, it's any HQ or staff. And then attempt to remove a pin mark, it's any HQ or staff. Why are they 2 just platoon HQs? Well, that means we can't do that. It needs to be a platoon HQ that rallies a paralysed, attempts to rally a paralysed team. That's a bit bizarre. Well, I'm not going to go and ask questions. I'll leave it in here. Andrew seems to be following along with the videos because he makes comments. He's been making comments at pretty much them all whenever there's a comment required. So if I leave that there, I dare say he might mention something. The last couple of comments I got was about the exhort. Yeah, it was okay to exhort because I felt like the unit, I'd moved the unit to infiltrate this card, so I moved the unit forward. We attempted to infiltrate, we drew 2 cards, and I thought, and we failed, and I thought, can I exhort? And I thought the HQ's still back here, but I thought, it's not, it's the order and moving it, and I figured it was good with that, but he was confirming that was okay. I think there was a couple others recently, but I can't remember exactly, but when they pop into my head, or if I look at if I've got the tablet open, I'll decide. Right, well, it doesn't look like I can do that then, so I'll need to come up with something else. Okay, but I'll get things started here, and then I'm going to have to pause and have a look and see what I'm going to do, and hopefully we get some commands. Right, so, well, it's the start of turn 7, so we've got the HQ phase, a friendly higher HQ event phase, so we draw a card and see what we get. We get nothing. Okay. Right, so now for the second and last turn, the battalion HQ is on the map. So if he's on the map, give him 6 commands. He doesn't get to save them, and he can do what he wants with them. So 6 commands. Well, he spends one right away to activate the COHQ, obviously. And then he's got 5 left. Maybe I should just try and find some info, because I'm not sure if I can get him forward into the fight. It seems a little bit odd. Thematically, does this battalion HQ want to go wandering about where there's VOFs? So let me just have a little browse. I mean, it does. Looking in 4.1.1, the friendly command phase sequence and the battalion HQ impulse, it says BNHQ may expend these commands on orders to itself or any friendly subordinate units employing in communication, including activating the COHQ. You cannot say BN. So it says it can give commands to itself and anybody that's underneath it, which everybody's underneath them. I think I looked if I want to move them, if I check who can do these things. Right, I'm away the wrong way. you know, movement action, move to an adjacent card, any good order unit, not marked exposed. I mean, he's not got a combat capabilities. He can't attack anything. He's not got a, you know, any kind of arms with him. So I think to me that means he can go away wandering, and I just think if we've got 5 commands, what else can we do? I mean, the other thing, I suppose I could order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could use all 5 to move that whole platoon up there. I mean, I suppose the worry with that is this is firing at this card now, isn't it? There's nothing to say it might not switch fire though, Grant. Well, why don't we just do that? And at least it gets. I mean, I could do a third platoon. I could do a platoon move to do the same. But the fact that I've been struggling for commands, that at least does that. Is that not more sensible then? I mean, the other thing, you could move up to here and try. Well, again, that's another paralysed team. You could try and rally that pin, the pin off that. But then he can't do anything with them, or he could risk it more and come up here. Well, both of them are into the fire zone, aren't they? So it doesn't seem kind of, very thematic for that to happen, for him to go wandering. Whereas ordering this whole platoon up maybe does make some kind of sense. That would also mean these guys would open fire. Now, they would have to open fire on this. They wouldn't have a choice because this PDF's running down. I'm pretty sure that would have to be the case. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know, because there's a PDF running down that way as well. Ooh. I don't know then. Yeah, I don't know what happens there. If I was to move just this one squad into here, he would then be able to fire. I mean, at the moment he can't fire on this because there's paralysed units in the way and we don't have overhead fire. But if I was to move into that card, where would he start firing? Because there's a PDF running down there from this card and there's a PDF running through that way from that card. I need an answer to that one. Right, I went and asked that question. I actually took a photo of that before posting it, just to make it easier to try and explain it, you know, because I'm not sure which. I mean, if we move this squad, let's just say we move the squad into there, you would think that as he's moved from this card that's firing towards this card, that he would continue then firing into there. Yeah, fair enough. But then this fire's coming down here as well. But I suppose he's moved from this card, so it kind of it feels logical that he should then, because he wants to fire here, but he can't because he's got friendlies here. But if he was to move into here, then he could then carry on the fire. But I guess it's because this PDF's coming the other way as well. I mean, just the same as you would say if 2-2 platoon here moved into here, he would then fire onto there, wouldn't he? I suppose maybe that's how it works. However, the other thing can be here, let's just say we move 1-3 into there, and then after that we move 2-2 into there. Well, again, logically, if you think about it, 1-3 moves into there, has to start firing onto here, which means 2-2 coming into here has to then start firing onto there as well, because the PDF is now there. So maybe that's the answer I'm going to get back. Sounds like that would be the case, but yeah, not sure. I did look in the rulebook there and I just not quite seeing it. some of the PDF stuff and that does get me. There's also ones where I know there's one that you can't cross across in front of a PDF. That one always bothered me as well. I'm not quite sure where that is. We'll maybe come across that as things go on. So I kind of need to know about that, because if we are going to use this battalion HQ to do that, so what I'll do actually is I've not had my breakfast yet, so I think I'll just go and pause, give Andrew time to. Well, if he's in Japan, I don't know about the time difference between the UK and Japan, to be honest, but he's always been pretty quick at answering my question anyway. So I'll go and get some breakfast to come back, and we'll see if we've got anything, and then if not, we'll just try and make do and muddle along. Yeah, okay. I'll just go on pause. So I'll be back in a bit. Hi all. Right, back to this is part 10. Yeah, so just a wee bit into this. 16 minutes. I just had things on pause. We're getting some breakfast. Had a question out there, and yes, indeed, Andrew, very quick again, very quick response. Thanks for that, Andrew. Regarding my question, the picture wasn't maybe great, and I didn't really show the units, so I think he was a little confused at first about my question, but I think he got it in the end. However, I'm overthinking this, and I don't feel too bad about overthinking it, because I feel like, this PDF is running this way, so if these units move into here, that they've got to continue. But that is kind of overthinking, because once these units come into there, like Andrew has said in his reply, they don't care about the knowledge of what this card's doing, because you can have, this card itself doesn't have a PDF running from it. So I'm taking it this is this is how he's answered it anyway. So, he's answered it in a way that tells me that, they're actually going to fire here if they do that. So it does tell me that they don't need to be firing down this PDF here. But this is a separate card. It doesn't have a PDF on it. Now, if they moved into there and then started firing one way, and then we brought one unit into here, then that PDF firing that way, he wouldn't get the chance to fire somewhere else. He would have to then follow the PDF. So, yeah, so the answer is they don't care about what's happening back on the card that they've just left. Now, if there was a PDF in this card, they would follow that. However, there's not, so whatever one moves in there first is going to be directed by... and it's the first time I've kind of looked at this, actually. Right, I just stopped the video there. The first time I've done it for a while, actually, but I clearly just hit the stop button. I was nowhere near the zoom. I think I was looking at the page as my fingers were up at the camera. Anyway, first time I've looked at our side of things here. Now, whether we should have been looking at it sooner than this, I don't think so. So this is 6.1, engage and open and fire. Really important rule. Yeah, most rules are important. But, there's a lot to be said for this one and whatever. So a friendly unit, if multiple cards are spotted, so what we would be doing if we move one of these squads on that card, if multiple cards were spotted, opposing units comes into view at the same time, units engage according to the following priorities. So that's what's happening here. We're moving, and this is the movement of a friendly unit. So we're moving, and then all of a sudden units are becoming spotted to us. I mean, you might say that at the moment they can see these. I mean, they they don't actually have, they couldn't fire on that from there. They could fire on that from there if there was nothing on this Marsh card, because they're at a higher elevation, so it doesn't matter about the green borders, but it's because there's a friendly unit on this card. If he wasn't there, they would open fire on that. So, but it is the case that they're moving into here, and then they're going to look, is there somebody that they can open fire on? So but it's slightly different from the enemy. The enemy would just pick the card with the most friendly steps. So the friendly unit would pick the closest card first. Well, you'll see that both the cards are adjacent, so they're both the same. And then it would pick the card projecting the strongest, the lowest volume of fire, and then random if equal. And that's why Andrew's replied with this guy, because he's, actually, The fact they're all pinned just now, of course, the thing is he might not know that. Well, you would see the numbers. It says the card projecting the strongest, lowest VOF, random if equal. You just think you'll get going again, and you something sort of stops you in your tracks. Because at the moment they're both pinned. So, if I move something into here, you could either be firing at this or you could be firing at that. So we're looking closest card, they're both the same. Then we're looking at card projecting the strongest, which is the lowest, VOF. Well, to be honest, that suggests to me that at the moment they're both projecting a +2 all pinned VOF. Like I say, he might not have been able to see that in the picture, but he might have just remembered that this was the 88 and this was a light machine gun. Let me just double check his answer. Okay, I've went and followed up that question. My take on it would be the word in card projecting strongest, lowest VOF, random if equal, would mean that's the card at the moment. This is producing +2 all pinned. This is producing +2 all pinned. They're both adjacent. To me, that's a random selection. However, I'm not knocking his answer there because I've got counters on top of things. He maybe doesn't know what's going on, and so I've led that in my answer with the fact that I know it's maybe not clear, but they are both pinned, these units. So we'll see. So I think that's going to be the case. I think it is going to be a random. I'll wait a wee bit just in case it comes back, because I suppose it could be that you look at the actual base unit. This has got a heavy weapons. He normally fires with heavy weapons. This normally fires with automatic weapons. I don't think that'll be the answer, but just in case, we'll wait. Okay, so can we move on though, Grant? Well, we can get moving. We can at least move these onto the card if that's what we're choosing to do. And I think we need to get moving. So I think I'm going to do this. So this is we're still in the battalion. What is it? Battalion HQ Impulse. And I think I'm going to give orders for all these. 1, 2, I've got 5 orders, commands left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just to move it all forward into that marsh. Now, there's foxholes in there. Do we want to try and put something under the foxholes? Do we want to put everything under the foxholes? Well, what could happen if they switched fire? If they switched fire, they'd just be firing on us normally, so they wouldn't be carrying out grenades. He's not got a grenade. He's heavy weapons. So I think we could take a chance and go under the foxholes actually. No, we can't infiltrate. No, because there's no VOFs. Okay, so I'm going to use all of his 5 commands, right? And to be honest, I'll just take that marker back off again because there's not going to be any more use of that. I'll leave him there. I don't know when he leaves, but we'll just, beginning the next turn, we'll take him away. So that does mean that they're going to start firing at that. Going by as I think it's going to be random actually. I think it's going to be random. I think I'd probably prefer to be firing at that because then we get a crossfire. We've already got a crossfire on that. So yeah, we kind of want that actually. Well, we might be able to shift fire. If it comes that we have to randomise and his fire's there, we might be able to shift fire. Do an order to shift fire. Right. So we're going to move all of these. Now I'll put that paralysed team there. We are going under the foxholes, but what I'll do is, so I'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into the card, exposed under the foxholes. Right, so there we go. I think I'm going to start changing this. I've always done it. I've put the exposed marker on first, then the cover on top. I think it's better the other way about. Because sometimes an exposed marker can be found hidden under a cover marker and you've forgotten about it. So I think it's probably better that way. So that whole group there are under the foxholes and they're exposed. And that was the 5 commands given by the battalion HQ. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Hang on, they're all on the cover marker, and this paralysed unit is not. Great. See, that's just now I can't communicate with it. So I would then need to move the 3rd Platoon HQ outside to communicate with that paralysed team. Nah, I think I'm just going to leave that. Just leave the paralysed team just now. I think it's better just to sit under that cover and hopefully nothing goes wrong there. Okay, so when we go in there, well, I do still, then things happen, and there's 3 enemies on the map, there, and there. Sorry, let me zoom out a little bit. So 3 enemies, 1, 2, 3. This one, we cannot fire at this. However, we can fire at that. It's up a hill, but we can fire at that. It's adjacent, and we can fire at that. So going by the priorities for the friendly fire, closest card, they're both as close, and like I'm saying at the moment, they're both got an all pinned +2 VOF. That's the best that they've got from that card. So I think I need to randomise between the two. So what I'll do, that means drawing a card, and I might not need to. Let's just see if Andrew's on the ball. Okay, not quite. I'm asking a bit much when you're talking like 5 minutes or something. Okay, so will I just leave that just now and come back to that? I think I can. I should remember what's going on. Because they do need to open fire on something, and now that we're not overthinking the fact that because they've came from this card that's firing there, do we have to continue firing there? No, that makes sense as well. I'm glad they came back with that answer. It makes it clear to me. Okay, so that was the Battalion HQ impulse. So now we're over at the CEO HQ, and I've got my. To be honest, I could probably unplug this now. Sorry, hang on. I had my phone plugged in, so I plugged my other phone in, or my actual phone in. Okay, so COHQ has no save commands. He is not undercover. Yeah, again, I'm thinking, see, there's a point where you should find cover, go under the cover, but then the radios don't work. So, to be honest, I'm pretty sure I played this game wrong. I'm pretty sure I was allowing the communication from undercover markers. I'm pretty sure I was. So it just shows you. Okay. Well, that's a good thing about putting these on film. That's the other thing. You play these games yourself, and sometimes you don't know. How many of you have found out a rule years down the line, maybe, that you've been playing wrong, because nobody is there, because we're playing solitaire games, there's nobody there to tell you, so it's good, it brings it all out. Yeah, brings it all out into the open. Right, okay, so COHQ, we're going to draw, he's getting a -1, yeah, -1, okay, good, we get a 4, so he's getting 3 commands, so that's better. Well, the last draws last night were terrible. So who do we mean we can do? Oh, I'm just talking about it, Grant. Yeah. I put 3rd Platoon HQ undercover. Well, maybe I just leave that and let him have an impulse then, as an initiative impulse. Because he's moved up in the card, he's going to fire on somebody, and he's getting further to our objectives, shall we say. Yeah. Right, okay, I had to go and pause there for quite a bit, so where are we? It looks like I've just activated the COHQ, hopefully that's where we're at. And I do have it in the top row. Yeah, remembering back to that blunder I made with the 2nd Platoon HQ, and should have realised if I put it up here, then that tells me that I've activated and drawn the card for it. That's what my routine should be. So the fact that I was looking at it here and saying, oh, it shouldn't be here, and then drew another card foolishly. Anyway, Right, I still haven't had any more response from that follow-up question from Andrew. Could be that he doesn't stand by answering all the questions right away, or the other thing could be sometimes you add to a thread if it kind of slips by. But I mean, when you're subscribed, you should get some. So yeah. If I don't hear from him, I'm going to assume that we are going to randomise between the two, because I'm pretty sure that's how I see it. Okay, so 3 COHQ commands. Yeah, this is when I realised that I'd put 3rd Platoon HQ undercover, hadn't I? Yeah, so right away there, we cannot communicate with 3rd Platoon HQ unless I do a little take back here and remove them from my undercover, but I don't think I'm going to do that because they're all undercover, and if I'm going to communicate with the platoon, I need to be under there as well. So they either need to be in the cover or out of the cover. So I'm going to leave him in, so it just means he's going to draw on initiative, on the initiative impulse, which might end up being bad because he's got no save commands. However, yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking. Do we really initially want to do anything with these? We'll move them up to here with the battalion HQ, and we're probably quite happy just to sit here and fire on whatever card it is we're firing on once I have to make the decision on that. Like I say, I'm pretty sure it'll be a random draw. I suppose I'm kind of drawing cards here out of sequence, am I? If I'm going to draw a random card. Yeah, you know what? It's just cards, and yeah, that does bother me though. It's always bothered me that, I'm drawing a random card of what, 50 odd cards, did we say? 50, I think. And if I draw one out of sequence, it should have been drawn for something else. I start thinking, oh no, that shouldn't be because it should have been that card. And I'd like to still just wait and a little bit more, because if Andrew does come back and say, no, it is actually the printed VOF, which I don't think is the case because the way I'm reading it, but you never know, sometimes I read things wrong, so it might be, so I'd rather wait a little bit longer. So we'll just draw the random card then, and it's only to decide between the two. It's a D2. Okay, so COHQ, it can activate 1st platoon, 2nd platoon. It could also activate the COXO or the 1st Sergeant. Well, the 1st Sergeant's got 6 save commands, and to be honest, the XO's got 3 as well. So, no, we don't really want to do that. So, I think activate 1st and 2nd, and then just save the other point, I think. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So, I'm going to move the COHQ down to 1 and save that last 1, and we're going to activate 1st platoon and 2nd platoon. And then I'm going to put some blue cubes there just to say that the 3rd platoon HQ and the XO and the 1st Sergeant were not activated in the activation segment, so that we don't get muddled up. So, okay, I think this is probably where I need to pause and have a look at things and see what I want 1st and 2nd platoon to do. Okay, I've had a little think. Still not sure. Right, 2nd platoon. I'm going to activate 2nd platoon. So they're getting a -1 for being green. They've got 1 save command, so good. A 4 becomes a 3, and that means we've got 4. Good, okay. So I know I thought about the previous turn, however, I ended up not getting commands, so I wasn't able to do anything. And this is firing, the mortar section is firing into here. I'd like to try and save, because I think I want to say he's only got one round left. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I'm right. He's only got 1 round left. So I wouldn't mind trying to save that. And my thinking was, let's see if we can get some artillery. Because if we can get that, I'm not talking about the VOF mainly, I'm basically talking about getting an incoming marker in there, then blocks his line of sight out the card, stops him firing on here. Okay, he's firing with all pinned at the moment, but and maybe No, see, we don't. Yeah, the other thing I want to do is I'm going to split this an assault team and put that across there. So that's 2 commands. That would be 1 command to order the artillery fire. So what do we want to do first? Yeah, let's attempt to call for fire again for the artillery. Now we've got 3 fire missions left. Yeah, 3 fire missions left. And yeah, because it's a -5 modifier as well, which is better than the heavy weapons. And we'll see if we can. No, I can't do a ceasefire. That's the thing with a mortar section. Can I move it somewhere then? Not really. Well, I mean, I could move it across onto this card, but because if I move, oh, yeah, I can. Because when I move it, it becomes exposed and it's going to not be able to fire. Okay. I mean, I could sort of take a bit of a risk and move it up to here. We could get it under this cover marker. There's 2 steps already there. It would be 4 steps under it. Well, let's go for the first bit first. So this would be 1 command, 2 command splitting an assault team, 3 command moving it. And then 4th command, which we've got 4. I mean, that would be nice to save some though, Grant, but well, that's how it goes. So let's do the artillery first then. Yeah, because it's a -5. So we'd get a 2-card draw here. Let me just find in the actions. Is it a combat action? Yeah, attempt to call for fire. Permission instructions, it's 2-card draw. It is based on experience as well, but they are aligned, so that's just a 2-card draw, and yeah, that's kind of all we need. Now, the scary part about this is I don't know how many cards are on the deck, but you can get a short result from your artillery, which means that the call for fire has not been quite accurate, and it's not quite reached its target, and I think it becomes 1 card short, or 1 range level short, if you like. So whereas that is a long range call for fire, it's ended up being at close range. Well, I can't sort of like predict that. I've just got to take my chances with that, I think. Right, so I'm going to spend 1 command, 2nd platoon is going to give an order for the artillery forward observer to call for fire on this card. And he's going to get onto his radio that he's got with him and call this fire in, hopefully. He's got 3 fire missions left, and he gets to draw 2 cards. So 2 cards looking for the burst icon. Now we will be able to exhort this as well. So that's a good thing. I'm looking at this card pile, and what do you know? There's a burst icon there. Right, 2 cards. Here we go. That's a no. And that's a no as well. So now if we want to exhort, we're going to have to spend another command, which means I think I want to try it though. It means the mortar's probably going to be sitting there still. Yeah. Unless we don't do the assault team thing. Well, what we could do is we could split the assault team off and use a general initiative, assuming we get one to move up, I suppose. I mean, it would have been nicer to have been looking for cover. Well, maybe we get a big general initiative draw. Yeah, I think I want to exhort then, so I'm going to spend 1 more. And we're going to draw 1 more card and hopefully get a burst icon. Ooh, we get 3 burst icons. Well, that means it's a success. However, that does do something slightly different, doesn't it? Is that not some kind of... Oh, I just turned the page to something that just shows it. Right, hang on. Yeah, I just flipped the book over there and it just randomly came to this. This indicates a successful attempt to call for fire and a triggered mine. Also indicates the possibility of a battalion fire mission if available for your current mission. Ooh, this could be good, because I think we've got that. I need to see the mission booklet, I think. Where's it telling me? Yeah, oh, they're not. Well, I've definitely used that before. It must be in the later missions. Look, Battalion fire missions are not available for artillery fire missions. Boo. Let me see mission 2, does it allow it maybe? Where was it telling me there? Where did it tell me? On the very front page. Yeah. Ah, that is, look. Yeah, I suppose it would show it there. This is mission 2. Look at the fire support available. It tells you down bottom. Battalion fire missions are available. And I think it's... Oh, for artillery. Yeah, anyway, they are available there. They're not available in our mission. Which is a pity, because I want to say that the way it works is that it targets this card. Hey, well, you know what? I think it targets adjacent cards too. But I don't know if you get to choose, because then that might be... maybe I should... Well, I know it's not relevant, but I suppose it's quite... I'm curious to know. There, it's there, page... What is that? 58. 7.16.2 available fire mission types, battalion fire missions. The battalion fire mission represents a whole battalion's guns being allocated in your support. Battalion fire mission is only available to artillery. If a drawn card contains the 3 bursts icon, and if the mission instructions say battalion fire missions are available for the firing agency, unfortunately that's where we're not getting it, then you may perform a battalion fire mission. So it is a may option. But you do get to choose, so it's choose 2 terrain cards bordering the original target card, placing a pending fire mission marker on these cards too. These 2 cards do not have to be in line of sight observer. So that would have been great, like. Well, to be honest, I think we managed to get rid of this guy, didn't we? I forgot he's gone now. But at least we would have got a fire mission on there as well. And remember, the other thing is, when it goes off, it then blocks line of sight for them firing out, so they don't then get to fire at you. So that's one of the big things. However, this card still does give me a success. So the exhort was worthwhile, and we get a pending fire mission on this card, yeah? So good. Right, now what do I do? I've got 2 actions left. So do want to try and save the mortar situation. Well, why not hold the mortar for the general initiative, maybe? I'd rather not waste that last round of mortar fire, you know. Okay, well, we've got 2 commands left. I think I will split the platoon into assault team and move on, and that spends the 2 commands. So second 2-2 platoon there gets reduced down to 2 steps, and we get an assault team, and then yeah, I think we move. I wonder, can we create a heavily engaged situation? Maybe. I don't think we want to, because we've got fire. The 2 enemies that we're targeting, they're getting heavily attacked. So I think we're just going to have to hope for the best with this one. Right, assault team's going up. Let's do it. So he moves up into there. We can't infiltrate with him because there's no VOFs. So he is exposed. And that was our last 2 actions of 3rd Platoon HQ. And we'll just need to see, like I say, if I had spare initiative command, I could maybe move the mortar somewhere. I could maybe move it here under that cover marker. It is going to get fired upon, however. So, I don't know. Right, okay, moving back, we have 1st Platoon, is it? That's still on the activation segment, impulse. So we'll draw... Yeah, sorry, I'm not drawing the card yet, so... Move up a bit, let's look at this. So 1st Platoon HQ, yeah, he's green as well, so he gets a -1. Oh, look at that. I tell you what, I would have liked that for general initiative. However, that's 5 commands, and he didn't have any saved, so... It wouldn't matter where that was, it was going to be good. However, I do wonder if 1st Platoon's the one that maybe I'm not going to I don't know. Yeah. Well, hang on though, Grant. We have just successfully called for fire here. There's a pending fire mission. Now, okay, he will get to have an enemy activity check before we move on. But this fire mission will update to become an incoming marker, which will then mean no line of sight from out of this card. So there'll be no fire coming in on this. Yeah, we're still going to have to resolve that sometime soon. I can't leave that forever. So just wondering about moving first platoon up into the attack position here in the hedgerow bocage. He would join in the fire. Well, actually, hang on, Grant. Why is there 2 PDFs here? Something's wrong there. Oh, yeah. Well, no, something is wrong there. What have I done there? I've blundered there, haven't I? The heavy weapons is coming from this card, from the mortar. Ah, don't tell me. Because I've got 2 different PDFs coming out of this card, and you can't have that. Oh, Grant. This could be a right bummer, because we've just had a result there taking that guy out, and we should only be firing on one of these cards. We're not showing a crossfire in there as well, though. Yeah. What is it I've done? I don't know. This guy was always spotted, that's the thing. So anything that was in this... Oh no. I'm going to have to go and look where I've made a blunder here. Because I know we can't have 2 PDFs coming out of the one card. I'm 99% sure of that one. And whenever something started firing, I get the feeling that we probably started firing on this card. So the attack on this probably shouldn't have been. Well, what we would have had to do is shift fire. And it looks like I might have to sort of suggest that that's what we've done. Because I'm going to... Yeah. Right, I'm going to go back and look at some video footage. That's annoying. I was just getting into my flow of things there. So where are we? We're thinking about what to do with first platoon. We've just given them the commands, so that's where we're at. How much time are we in? 30, but I think I stopped the video at 17 minutes or so. So yeah, let me just go and pause again for a little bit and see if I can work out what's happened here. It looks like I might have to make one of the fixes that doesn't really fix it in the proper way, but I'm noticing in this game, in previous games that I played, quite often you can rewind and fix things. This game feels like it's maybe a bit trickier to do that, so it means that errors go by and you just need to note them and move on, which I hate, but yeah, I know I'm going to make mistakes, but I'd like to be able to catch them and fix them if I can. Right, I'll go and pause for a bit, so I'll be back in a bit. Cheers. I tell you what, we might be getting away with this, and yeah, because I've just went back. I thought, well, how far we're back? Well, this is part 10 we're recording, and I thought, right, part 7, let's look there. And as I'm looking at part 7 video, This card is firing onto this card. There is no fire from this card to this card. So that's a good sign. So that suggests to me that, well, yeah, I think so. However, no, if we were to move onto this card, we wouldn't automatically start firing at that, would we? No, we would be looking at what we just looked at, deciding we were going to fire at with this one, wouldn't we? What is it? Highest VOF. Well, closest card then, highest, or sorry, not highest, best VOF. Right, I just thought I'd jump in there and say that. I'm going to go back and look a bit more. Right, okay, more problems it seems. I thought I was getting away with this because it's the first platoon HQ and the bazooka team that move, the bazooka teams under that pin marker, that move up onto this card. And the reason I thought I was getting away with it was that this card, this was firing on this, and this was a light machine gun. And then when they moved up, now I noticed there's another glitch in my recording. I haven't watched back part 7 yet, but there's another glitch where it looks like I've been on pause thinking I was recording and vice versa. So, but I flipped this PDF marker to show that they were firing both ways. So I thought, well, good, that's great. That must be, we're firing at both. This shouldn't be here. However, like we've just noticed, well, it could be the fire at the time though, Grant. If, again, I've not had this response. As we've just been, as just Andrew's just pointed out to me, that they'll open fire. Yeah, so when these units moved into here, what was already there then? There was something already there. That obviously wasn't firing. Is that a paralysed team in there or what, a team or something? That's a fire team. I think that was an assault team, so it couldn't be firing. That's right. That was an assault team. It got hit recently and turned into a fire team. And this is a bazooka. Yeah. And yeah, well, if we've got this wrong, because we actually do a grenade attack, well, a bazooka attack on that, don't we? The thing is, we shouldn't have been deciding, when we moved on to that card, there was no PDFs pointing anywhere. Well, there was a PDF pointing from here to here, but there was no outgoing PDF. Then I don't think we automatically fire on that. I mean, I think that's what I've been thinking, that, hold on, he's firing at me, I'm going to fire at him. I don't think that's, well, you know what, maybe it is. Because it's kind of different here. When we move on to this card here, we're wanting to know who we're firing at. Nobody's firing onto this card. So maybe that is how it works. Give me a second. I don't think that's the case, is it? I'm just looking at firing along a PDF. It says units moving into a card that already has a PDF marker immediately open fire along the PDF. That's fine. But when this unit moved into here, there was no PDF out of the card. There was a PDF coming in, but not going out. And it doesn't automatically. Yeah, so then we need to look at an unengaged unit opens fire, becomes engaged with its basic VOF when it has a spotted eligible target within range of line of sight. This is automatic mandatory. This may happen whenever changes occur on the map. For example, movement of friendly and enemy units. So we move the unit into there, then this happens. But it then says if multiple cards with spotted opposing units come into view at the same time, units engage according to the following priorities. Closest card projecting, strongest, lowest VOF. And I think that's going to be a blunder. I mean, depends what this was firing with at the time and what this was firing with at the time. I'll go and have a look, but I mean, remember, this is heavy weapons. This is a light machine gun. Okay, there is a good part to it. I want to just put this on in part 9, and it's when I decided that this unit could start firing out. It's when the incoming came off, I think. And then I was swirling at first, thinking, oh, are they going to fire up they're going to fire down to this card or this card because they're further away. And then I thought, wait, Grant, again, you're kind of overthinking things here, and they surely open up on the nearest card. And at that time, this was the card with the most steps. But I just put down a PDF going both ways. So I think that has just been a mistake. It's not been something that I've, thought, well, we're both firing that way. I think it was just a mistake putting the PDF down that way. However, and I'm just going to have to let this go, I'm afraid, that the decision when the bazooka moved on to this card, the decision to open up fire on this was wrong. Because this was firing heavy weapons at this, I think, at the time. And this was firing with automatic weapons at this. So this was the best, this was the lowest VOF. So that's where I should have been firing rather than there. But I can't really go back and fix that, so I'm just going to have to leave it there as a glitch. And you might think, oh yeah, well, you got to take that guy out, didn't you? But I can't really fix it. It's just been it's just one of them. So we'll let that go. Yeah, we'll let that go. I'll take note of it though, and yeah. Also, the bit was bugging me. Part 7 looks like it's been messed up again with a glitch of me pausing, recording, and because I keep going on about this app and then don't do anything about it. So I've got myself to blame. Maybe I'll try it at work today. If I get a chance at work today, maybe try and see if there's another possible app that I can use. It's not that I don't like this, it's just I wish I could move. I wonder if you can move the controls about. I don't know if... Yeah, again, Grant, go and look for some YouTube videos on the actual app and you might find out how to do it. Yeah, rather than going on about it. Right, okay, well, I'm just going to have to leave that one like that. I have noted it. I have to be more careful though, because don't just open up against the PDF that's coming into you, Grant. I mean, I just kind of automatically done that, and that's, as far as I believe, that's wrong. It's something you might think, well, they're firing in here, so we'll fire back at them. Because, yes, still something bothering me about that says that maybe that is right, but I don't think it is. Continuing to fire, ordered to cease fire, ordered to move. This is when unit will continue to fire at the same card until, yeah, that's nothing to do with it. No, I do think I should have been looking to see who had the strongest VOF. Okay, never mind. We'll just move on because this part's probably getting a bit long now. So let's see if we can get through. I've still got a little bit to actually activate. So I was contemplating maybe platoon moving here, knowing that the incoming's going to hit this card, this PDF and fire's going to go away. So this card's going to be relatively safe. We will also create a crossfire into that as well, because we'll start... No, we won't. Well... We will when we shift fire, because we're still firing on this card here. So why don't we do that? Why don't we do a platoon move up into there? Do we want to move under the cover marker? Well, here you go again. We've got lots of commands. We could try and get some of the pin stuff off. And we can infiltrate. Because at the moment, all pinned, fire on that. Right, I'm going to do this, and we are going to go undercover, because these units are undercover, and if I want to try and do anything with them, I need to be in the same place that they are. So I've got 5 commands. I'm going to spend 2 of them, down to 3, and this is for 1st Platoon HQ. And we're going to... now, I suppose we've not looked at this one, but it's the same as infiltrate, but... So it's just platoon infiltrate, isn't it? Where is that? Attempt to have a platoon infiltrate an adjacent card. Cost me 2 commands. I've already spent them. It's a 2-card draw. We're going to do that for each unit. All good order units of that platoon on the same card that are not marked as exposed, and I do not... Oh yeah, thanks for that reminder. That's fine though. We've only got a light machine gun we're taking with us. So it says have each unit in the platoon perform an attempt to infiltrate an adjacent card. All units move to the same card. Units on the card who are out of communication remain in place. Right, so we all move to the same card, but my understanding there is we can choose. In fact, does it not tell us here about cover? Yeah, if there is cover on, and this is for a single infiltration move. If there is cover on that card, you may place the unit under a cover marker. And obviously if the attempt fails, it's just a regular move and it gets marked as exposed. So each unit that we move, we can choose to go under cover or not. I think we're going to go for it and just go with them all. Yeah, so not sure if this is daft or not. So we're going to start moving our stuff up. So let's move, and I'm going to move them under the cover marker then. So we're going to attempt to infiltrate. I'm just going to do one at a time. So the light machine gun here, I can just, let me zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to attempt to infiltrate the light machine gun. This is all part of the 2-cost move. So we draw, yeah, well hang on, it's 2 cards. It's a recipient. It's a recipient experience. So he is line, so he gets a 2-card draw. Yeah, see when it comes to the platoon HQ, he's only going to get a 1-card draw for it, because he's going to get a -1. Yeah, that's right. So we get a 2-card draw for the light machine gun, trying to find the silhouette of the soldiers for the infiltration move. Just try to think this one through, make sure we're alright. I think so, yeah. The VOF's still on that card because the incoming it's not went off yet. We're just, the fire mission's coming in. Not right now though, so yeah, okay, I'm gonna go for it. Right, so 1, that's a reshuffle. 2, so we need 1 more card. Right, he gets it. So he succeeds at infiltrating the card. So he'll go under that cover marker, not exposed. And I'll shuffle the deck up. Right, so that's the deck shuffled up. So I'll just leave him there. But remember, he is going under the cover. It's just to do these one at a time. So now we'll try the 3-1 platoon. That's line as well. So again, another 2-card draw here to see if he can infiltrate. He succeeds. Sorry, did you see that? It was one of them a bit further down. So he's good as well. So what I'll do at the moment, I'll just stack him beside him, saying that he's succeeded. Right, next one's 2-1 platoon. That's the one with the rifle grenade. Again, he's line. It's a 2-card draw. That's a no. That's a yes. So we're doing well here. So he's good as well. We'll just stack them just now. Right, then 1-1 platoon, which is only 2 steps. But he is, however, line, so he gets a 2-card draw. That's a no, and that's a no. Right, so he's not. He's going to be marked exposed. So I'll just put him to the side, and we will chuck an exposed marker on him just now. Again, though, he is going to be under the cover marker. Right, and then finally, the platoon HQ. Now, he's green, unfortunately, so he only gets 1 card. That right? 2 plus or minus, yeah. So we've just drawn 2 that weren't, though, so maybe, yay, look at that. Good. So that kind of worked out well. There's only 1 of them out of the bunch that didn't make it. So, right, let me tidy this up. Well, like I say, all these are going under this cover. There's a couple of things pinned under the cover. This guy's exposed. It's going to get a bit messy. Let me see if I can sort it out. And so it's, yeah, hang on. Right, okay, I think that was the best I could do. So we've got first platoon HQ, 2-1 platoon, 3-1 platoon, 1 light machine gun. All under cover, not exposed. We've got 1-1 platoon that was reduced. He's exposed, again under cover. And then we've got the bazooka and the fire team, which are both pinned, still under the cover as well. I could have stacked them both under 1 pin marker, I suppose. That's fine. I'll leave it like that. It's clear. I think they're all tucked together, so that's the way we'll do it. So that costs. Well, actually, we're going to do other things. We've got three more commands left. Right, hang on though. But what happens there? Yeah, something happens. Well, it kind of does. We do need to update things, but we're going to shift fire, aren't we? Ooh, can we not shift fire onto him, maybe? Right, well, let's do it properly. So there's a casualty on that. Well, we're never going to get that. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go back and look at the rules for that. Andrew didn't really re-comment on my response to that, so we might have to ask a bit more about that. And that's about what it says. I know I'm... Wait till I update this. So we're now firing with automatic weapons onto that card, aren't we? That's the best VOF. So it's actually automatic weapons now, whereas it was all pinned. So they do still carry and firing at their PDF. And yes, okay, I made a mistake. In actual fact, the fire should have been in there. Let's just say that we spent a command to shift fire at some point and firing that guy. I know it means that I'm a command better off somewhere, but let's just... I can't go back and fix it, So yeah, just talking about this. Now, this is a card that is outside our boundaries. We cannot move on to that card. But just again, I'm just looking at the sequence of play here. Enemy casualties on unoccupied and friendly occupied cards are captured as per 8.15. That's a small... the basic version of it. But I'm sure I looked at 8.15 and it didn't tell me... Was it 8.15? Yeah. In fact, is that not the one that should be 8.15.1 that I sort of made a comment on? Yeah, it is 8.15.1. Enemy casualties are automatically captured if their card is unoccupied, which means no other enemy units or PC markers, right? There's none of that. Or friendly occupied at the end of the mutual capture and retreat phase. It's quite clear there that we're going to capture this because this is unoccupied. I just don't recall that from the old rules. That was a bit vague, wasn't it? I want to say. And that's what I was trying to get to Andrew, a follow-up question, which is maybe just got lost out there. So, well, you know what I'll do? We'll leave it here, Andrew. The fact that this is unoccupied, and that's what seems to say in the rules, I would have thought I would have needed some presence there to be able to capture that. But going by, unless I'm reading it wrong, it looks like in that phase, and the next time in that phase, we're going to be able to capture that. So I'm going to do that, but tell me if I've got that wrong, and then I can just ignore that casually. It's going to be an extra experience point at the end or not, depending on if you come back with something different. Okay. So I've still got 3 actions left, 3 commands. So I think, yeah, one of them is we want to shift fire, don't we? But this would create a crossfire. This would create nothing because it's already a crossfire. So in actual fact, I'm better just shifting to that, am I not? Yeah, I think so. So let me see the shift fire command, because we've not done that yet. At first I was like, don't tell me they've removed shift fire completely. I know it's been removed from pyrotechnics, but it's one of the last ones on the other page there. So shift fire, it costs 1, it's automatic. Originator, any HQ or staff. Recipient, any unit in communication exerting a VOF regardless of the chain of command. So move the VOF PDF in any desired direction, engaging any other card in the originator's line of sight, including an unoccupied card, but not one with unspotted opposing units. Once order is given, it is passed on and carried out by all units on the card, whether they are in a communication or not. So in actual fact, I could have left folk not under cover and they would have still reacted to this. Because some had been undercover, some had been not. they would have still shift fire. Because they see everybody else is turning around, firing elsewhere, they can see what's going on, you know. So I think we're going to give that command, so that takes us down to 2 left, to shift fire from this card, which is, there's nothing on this card now. Yeah, it makes more sense going for this guy. Because this guy, it's not going to do me any good. We've already got a crossfire there and a heavy weapons fire. So it's not going to do any more unless we start concentrating fire. But I think I'm just going to save. Well, we do have the possibility of removing some pin mark. Well, I tell you what, once that VOF goes away, these are going to remove their pin markers automatically. So, right, I'm going to shift fire from there to there. So we are going to turn this, and this now is going to be correct, even though I kind of blundered my way through it. And the automatic weapons is going to come off of that. We would be firing automatic weapons onto this. However, we're getting heavy weapons from our mortar. Yeah. We might not be getting the... I suppose we'll lose the... If we move the mortar away, we're going to lose our crossfire, aren't we? Well, yeah. So, we now have heavy weapons and automatic weapons. We only need the heavy weapons to say that's what's what. And there's a pendant fire mission, and there's a crossfire because we're a PDF here and a PDF there. Oh, right. I think, yeah, we need to decide this. We need to, yeah. Let's just hold there and make a decision on this. I'll go and have a quick look in case Andrew's maybe come back with anything. And then, if not, I'm going to randomise between the 2 cards. Yeah, that's what I thought. I could have shifted fire. But do I care which one they're attacking on? Maybe not. Right, let's have a quick look, see if he's come back with anything. Right, good stuff, got a reply from him. At first he was saying what's the next priority, and then he was thinking it might be most steps, and then he realised that apparently that only applies to snipers, so it is just random. Snipers something on its own then? Snipers. Where will that be? Is it in part 7 or is it in 6? There must be a section on snipers. There we are, yeah. Not that we really need to be looking at this, but or hang on, was there not a table? Yeah, there was this, which I thought maybe that's where he was getting that from, but no, I don't think. Placed automatically with a sniper also applies small arms, dual card, command roll modifiers effects. 7.1, 7.15. Yeah, I know we've not got a sniper yet, but the sniper. Enemy snipers have their own priorities separate from normal enemy units. Their behaviour is covered in... it's in the enemy part, okay. Yeah, so here we are here talking about snipers, but I think it'll tell us the bit up here maybe. With the open fire according to the priorities in 6.1.1, yeah, it's got some priorities there. You can see that it's out of line. That's when it's... That is out of line of sight of all. That's when it's falling back, isn't it? Yeah, I think they just follow the same 6.1.1, don't they? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where he's coming with a sniper bat, but we're looking at friendly units here. But he does agree. He does agree that did say that it would be random because they're both. It is what they're firing at the time. That's the question I was asking. So with that in mind, that was definitely going to be, we should have been firing on that with that one, because it didn't matter. At the time, this was firing -3, this was firing -1, so it should have been that one. But again, I can't go back and fix that. So when they moved on to there, we've got a random choice between there and there. Now, I know I should have drawn a card back then for it, and part of me wants to like flip a coin or roll a dice here rather than draw a card. But the game is all about cards, and you know, okay, I've drawn it out of, you know, the time will be suffering here and we'll be interfering with whatever. So I'll draw a card. I'll just say this is a 1, this is a 2. We might be going to, well, actually, we've not got commands to, oh no, he's not activated yet. Yeah, he's not activated yet. So let's draw a 1 or a 2 random. We've drawn 1. So he would have, when he moved on that card, it would have been random. He would have opened fire there. And there's still a crossfire. He's not adding to anything there. No. So nothing changed there. But I don't think we need to shift anyway, because we've got the fire here. We've got a cross. Well, hold on. Maybe we do. Because that crossfire is going to go away if we move that mortar. And if we turn that to that, the crossfire would stay to give us that extra -1. So it might be worthwhile thinking about. Right, this video's moving on a bit, Grant. So we've still got 2 commands left for first platoon. Yeah, I was going to say I was considering the pin situation, but I don't think we should bother with that, because this is going to go away when the incoming hits. We're going to remove our pin markers. So I'm just going to save the 2 commands, because we've been really struggling for commands. And that's our activation segment over. So now into the initiative segment, we do have 3rd Platoon HQ and our 2 CO staff. So 3rd Platoon HQ is actually maybe undercover. He is. He went in the foxholes. Yeah, we. I just realised we'll put 1st Platoon HQ undercover as well. So yeah, the COHQ is not good. Well, he could maybe move into one of the cards and move undercover with it, but then he can't communicate outside the cover. So yeah, that is trickier than I thought. I've definitely played this wrong in the past. Definitely played that real wrong, I think. Okay. So 3rd Platoon HQ, well, he's undercover, so he's getting a +1, but he's green, he's -1. So this is a small number though. And it's a 2, that'll do. So not bad. For 3rd Platoon, he gets 2 commands. Now, well, I don't, yeah, like we just said, I may just want to save these up, because I don't need to switch fire to this. Well, unless we move the mortar. That was the thing, wasn't it? Well, are you going to move the mortar, Grant? And you know what? If you do move it, it's going to have to be under general initiative. And where would you like general initiative? I'd like to search for cover there. That's probably about it. But what's the chances of getting a 2 for our general initiative? That's what we need, a 2. If we only got 1, then I didn't need to sacrifice one of the options. Moving the mortar or looking for cover. They're the 2 things that I kind of want to do. Oh, hold on. Our first... Nah. Well, the 1st sergeant could move and leave the machine gun there. 1st sergeant could come across here and order the mortar section away. Yeah, because he's got lots of commands. So maybe we do shift fire? Is it really worthwhile going through all that? We're getting a -5 here anyway. He is pinned under trenches though. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's getting a +4. At the moment, as he sits, he's getting a +4, and he would be getting -5. So that's a -1. So it would be quite nice to have that crossfire. And like I say, this guy's still going to get the crossfire anyway, because this is firing and the machine gun's firing. Okay. Yeah, okay, I will order a shift fire from these guys onto that. That cost me 1 command, and I'm going to save the other one. So he's got 1 saved. And that means now that when we move the mortar, yeah, we're going to have to do that. We can't wait on the general initiative though. We're going to have to do the first sergeant thing there. Okay, that's that saved. So now over to our staff impulse. So they're going to get 1 each. Well, let me do the first sergeant first. So he gets 1. He's got 7 commands. Remember, he can save up to 9. So I think we're going to do that with him. But where are we going to move this mortar to anyway? It doesn't matter where we move it, it's going to stop firing because it's going to be exposed. It's a little bit risky because he is going to get fire in here. That's going to be under cover. It's not a bad cover card. It's 2 plus 1 for the cover, and we could be infiltrating. It could be an infiltrate attempt, so we might get lucky there. So he's going to be sitting hopefully under a +3 cover, and the only fire that's coming in from this guy is +2. So he'd be sitting with a +5. And the likelihood is that second platoon is probably going to be making a move up there anyway, so why not just do that then? Okay, so first sergeant, I'm going to give him 1 command. Yeah, just to move by himself, because we need to leave the machine gun there, that's firing there. To move by himself onto the church, becomes exposed. And then he's going to then spend another command to order the mortar section, so it's down to 5, to order the mortar section to attempt to infiltrate here. Ooh, who gets, because remember this first sergeant's veteran. So attempt to infiltrate, is it the originator that gets the bonus of that? Well, I see, attempt to infiltrate an adjacent card is a recipient. It's a recipient, right? So it's the actual guy making the move. Makes sense, I guess. So it's a 2-card draw. The mortar section is a line. So yeah, and he can't open that. But when he becomes unexposed, well, assuming this guy's here, still here, he'll automatically open up there. But we've got time to do things about that. I want to just try and save that last point of his ammunition just now. That's why. Right, we're going to attempt to infiltrate under this cover on this hedgerow bocage, and there is a volume of fire coming in here, so we're allowed to do that. And that's the mortar section. So it's a 2-card draw for infiltrate. Yeah, I need to get this finished up. It's too long now. 2-card draw, looking for the silhouettes. Yeah, let's go. No. Yes, okay. I was going to say we could have exhorted that one as well. But we get it. Good. So the mortar section is not exposed, and he comes up under this cover beside 3-2 platoon. This pinned paralysed team is not under the cover. So this is like that. And yeah, and I think we've got still 5 commands for the first sergeant. I think just leave that and we can platoon move that. I don't think we need to do any more. Yeah, let's just save the other 5. And then, so the last one is the XO is going to gain 1, so he's got 4 commands. He can only save 3, so could he maybe make a move? Where's the safe place? Well, this is going to be safe, and this looks safe as well, so although he can infiltrate into this one. So maybe do that. Maybe not under the cover though, because I feel like I'm putting a lot of things under cover and they're not going to. Yeah, maybe not under cover, so at least the COHQ could maybe activate him and he could maybe jump under the cover and give some orders. Something like that. Right, well, we'll use that 1 command that he's got to attempt an infiltration onto this card, but not under the cover marker. So EXO is he's green. Right, he's green, so it's only a 1 card draw to infiltrate. Yeah, okay, fair enough. 1 card. We fail. Well, you can exhort. Do I really care? No, I think I'm gonna accept that one. So he is gonna just have moved and is exposed. And I'm gonna save the last 3 commands. Okay, good stuff. So now general initiative. Well, I'd like to do that just to finish the video off. Yeah, it's not quite an hour and a half yet. I think it's an hour and 20 or something. So anything else changed there? No? I think we've been following things. These 2 enemies, this is firing there. They're trading fire, but we're getting the 50 cal in there. They're trading fire, but we're getting we were getting the actually that's going to come off now. So that is something new. That's going to come off, and because the mortar's no longer stop, Grant. The mortar's not exposed. Actually, the mortar can't do that. He can't do that. That's the reason. So just caught that. Well, not in time. He can't infiltrate, can he? Where does it tell us? Not marked exposed, and that does not have an A and an arrow symbol or an HVOF rating. Okay, so he's undercover. I know I've drawn a card again. Did we exhort with him? Oh, well, you know what? We've done it now. I was not able to do that. The whole point is so that he can't then move on to another card and start firing right away. Yeah. Okay. That's messy. Can I not balance it on top of that like that so that we know that they're both undercover? Right. Okay. Yeah, he was not able to do that. So I may have drawn a couple of cards at a turn. I may have cost myself an extra point actually, because it was the first sergeant that came and done it, wasn't it? Because I started thinking that, oh my god, he's going to open fire now on that. So I kind of don't want that, and I'm kind of, the intention was to stay exposed. So okay, that's fine. That's fine. Although I did make a bit of a mess of that, didn't I? Right, I can't go back. I've drawn cards, fair enough, but yeah, and I think it cost me 1 extra command. No matter. So yeah, this heavy weapons came off because that's now, in fact, that PDF's coming off as well, isn't it? Yes, because they cannot fire over the overhead fire. So that PDF comes away. However, this PDF is still coming from them. That was the whole point, to keep the crossfire. But how much? What have we got? We've got a light machine gun, so it's automatic weapons. Automatic weapons, crossfire, but we're getting the pendant fire anyway. We're getting a fire mission. So that's that. That's good. And then he's firing on that. We're getting a crossfire. Yeah, I think it's all good. So let's draw for general initiative, and we just really want a 1. Come on. Right, now the 1 was to try and get that guy cover, so we're not getting that. That's it. Right, I'm going to have to stop for now. I'm going to mark my turn sequence with a phase marker, hopefully, to say that it's the enemy higher HQ event next. But I think this video's went on long enough. Yeah, I was getting back in the swing of it. Yeah, however, a few errors being made. Not major, but well, not major, catching them though, and just, I think the problem is, even that one there, I only just done it, but I've drawn other cards for other things, and you just can't really go back and fix it. So I've fixed it, but the card draws and that, I'm not going to try to start stacking the cards back into position that, you know, right, I drew this, unless I spotted it right at that time. because I did draw other cards, didn't I? Yeah, because we tried to. Did we not try and infiltrate someone else? Oh, I can't remember. I'm just going to leave it. Like I say, I think it costs us 1 extra command for this first sergeant. So, okay. Right, I'll get away for now, and I might be able to get another part started. I'm working a bit later though, so I maybe should get some things done before that gets a bit closer. What time are we at? It's at 2 o'clock, so... Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've still got another couple of hours before I need to do anything. But okay, I'll get this copied across, and I'll be back with the next part sometime soon. Cheers.